Hello, I'm Sarah from slimhappyandeating.com. It's brilliant that you can join me today on this, which is video number 1 of 3 in my mini training series. And I'm here today to teach you the number 1 thing that will get you on your way to escaping dieting forever. The number 1 thing that will enable you not only to let go of weight, but to keep it off for good. And it's something the diet companies don't want you to know. Even better. So I guess you're here for one of maybe 2 or 3 reasons. So perhaps you, like me, have finally cottoned on to the fact, and it's a well-established fact, that dieting just doesn't work, and you'd like to let go of some weight, but know that diet isn't the answer. Maybe you'd like to start nurturing and nourishing your body with real, clean, gorgeous, scrumptious food rather than the processed rubbish that we've kind of been tricked into relying on for so long now. Maybe you'd just like to get more at peace with your body and your relationship with food and get to, a calmer, more balanced place. Or maybe you just like to lose some weight, but you love food and don't want to give it up. Whatever the reason for being here, you're very welcome. And you're going to love what I'm about to teach you. And lots of people have told me that this has been like an amazing light bulb moment for them when they've been through this training. What I'm not going to do, first of all, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I'm not going to do. So you're kind of in the wrong place if all you want to do is lose some weight very quickly. That's diet world, and I'm done with that. I'm through with that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. You see, here's the thing. What do we do when we lose something? So just try and remember the last time that you lost either your purse or your phone or your keys. I'm always doing it. But what do we usually do? Well, if you're anything like me, first of all, we kind of panic a little bit, and then we do our bestest to go and find it again. And from my experience, that's what we do when we lose weight, when we diet. Sometimes we kind of panic a little bit because it's all a new world to us, but then we do our bestest to go and find it again, and the weight comes back on again. So what I'm not going to do in this mini training series is tell you how to lose a lot of weight very quickly. I could do, but I'm not going to. You see, I was part of the UK diet industry for almost a decade. Yes, I ran a slimming club, so I did the whole, weighing people every week, measuring people, selling diet products. I know, don't hold it against me. In my defense, we did offer some coaching and counseling, and we sort of looked at the psychological behavioral change as well. And that's the bit I really loved. That's the bit that made the most difference. The trouble was it wasn't enough because it was still bound up with this whole diet thing, this whole deprivation cycle. So it got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. Year after year, I used to watch my beautiful, fantastic, hardworking clients come and lose some weight, and I mean lose quite a bit of weight in some cases, only to see them return year after year after year, wanting to re-lose what they'd regained. And I just couldn't do it anymore. Don't get me wrong, I don't regret those 10 years. I met and worked with some absolutely fantastic people. I had some awesome training. I did some great personal development work on myself. But the biggest benefit from those 10 years is that I learnt what didn't work and what did work. And what I've done is put together some really fantastic strategies and step-by-step plans to enable people to achieve the real and lasting change that they so want and deserve. So not just losing a lot of weight very quickly, but achieving the real and lasting change that people deserve. So today's mini lesson is one of those key strategies. So here's a question for you. What do you do, or what do people do typically when they want to make a big change in their lives? For example, becoming slim and healthy for good. So what might they do? So they might go on a diet. They may join a slimming club. They might buy an exercise DVD. They might cut out sweetened chocolates for a while. Yeah. So what have all those things got in common? Well, they are all kind of external stuff. They're nothing to do with the inside of the person. They're all outside of the person. It's the things they do. And the challenge with that is, what's being addressed. So in my belief is no one has a weight problem. The weight is a symptom of something that's going on for that person. And the trouble with diets is all we address if we go on a diet is the external stuff. And often such changes are hard work. They're done through sheer willpower, which I'll come to in a minute. And once the diet is finished, then the old habits and the old behaviours, and unfortunately the old weight, will return, because that's the real person and nothing has changed on the inside. And that, ladies, is what I call diet mentality. It's yo-yo dieting. It's why so many people, sadly, end up on and off a diet for 40, 50, 60 years of their lives. Sadly, most of their adult lives. And I believe what I'm going to teach you today is the biggest non-informational hurdle to success that people face. So I'll say that again because it's a bit of a strange sentence. But what I'm going to teach you today is the biggest non-informational hurdle to success that people face today. So what do I mean by that? Well, I think we all kind of roughly know what we need to do, what we need to eat, and in roughly what quantities to get different results. So what I mean is, if we ate, I don't know, say chips and chocolate and takeaways and cake all the time, then we can kind of predict what results we're going to get. Yeah? And likewise, if we eat a mixed and balanced and varied diet, really rich in protein and vegetables and a bit of fruit, most of the time, then again, we can kind of predict what results we're going to get. Yeah? So if that's the case, if we know that information, if we know that stuff, why aren't we doing it? If it's that easy, why aren't we doing it? Especially if you really, 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 really want to be slim and healthy forever, which I know you do want. And that is the million-dollar question. And the good news, well, the good news and the bad news are exactly the same, and that is that you are exactly where you want to be at this time. Now, I know you're all going to be shouting at the screen at me and saying, what? I'm not where I want to be. I want to be 3 stone lighter. I want to be a size 12. I want to be clean eating. But I'll say it again, you are exactly where you want to be at this moment in time. And the reason I know that is because we're all human beings. And as human beings, we are all lovely and wonderful and complex. And we don't just have one want or desire. We are the sum of all our wants and desires at any one moment. So we don't just want to be slim. We also want to be eating the cake and the takeaways sometimes. Yeah. So we are a sum of everything in the mix. Now, weight loss aside, have you ever been there? So have you ever really, 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 really wanted something? However, you've either kind of put it off or delayed doing it, or kind of gone about it but so half-heartedly that you've never really achieved it. I know I have. And the good old New Year's resolutions. So it might be, I don't know, this year I'm going to get a pay rise, I'm going to spend more time with the children, and by the end of the year I'm going to own a pony. And guess what? December comes and you're still on the same pay, not really spending much more time with the children, and you ain't got no pony. Now, some people might say, well, you obviously just didn't want it enough. And they'd be nearly right, but not really right. And some people, the thing is, there are things, you may have wanted those things, but there were things that you wanted to avoid more. But the good news is you can change that. And the even better news is it's easy, a lot more easy than using willpower. Because a lot of people will say, well, if you want something, all you need to do is use willpower. But here's the thing about willpower. Willpower is the least effective, most hard work, almost kind of cruel, most temporary tool you could choose to achieve anything. Willpower is next to a waste of time. It's rubbish. And if you're relying on willpower, you're kind of fighting what you want with what you think you should be wanting, if you know what I mean. It's not the real you, it's what you think you should be doing. And there's something within you that is far more powerful, far easier, and far more sustainable to use when you want to achieve something than willpower. And that is, want power. So what you want the most has the most power. So remember what I said a little bit earlier, wherever you are at the moment in your weight loss journey or anywhere in your life is the sum of everything that's going on for you, the sum of all your wants and desires. And so all is not lost here, because you are not trapped, because the key word in that sentence is sum. You're the sum of all your wants and desires. So the word sum comes from the world of mathematics. Yeah, when you add things up. And here's where the fun begins, because you can change the value of things to get a different result. So 1 + 1 = 2. But you could get a different result if you change the 1 to a 2. So 1 + 2 = 3. And you can do the same with your life. So what I'm talking here is about the person who wanted the pay rise and the spend more time with the kids and the pony. They didn't actually want those things. What they wanted were the benefits, or the emotional benefits, that went with having those things. What they'd failed to do was add up the emotional benefits of avoiding them. Okay, so in order to get those things, they'd have to do something, and the pain of doing whatever they had to do weighed heavier than they actually wanted them. Do you see what I mean? So what we're talking about is the concept of the benefits of not getting what you want. So bear with me on this one. I'd like you to think about two things. What are the benefits or the positives of you overeating or overconsuming? And what are the benefits / positives of you being or remaining overweight? Now, again, you're probably screaming at me, there aren't any benefits of being overweight. Here's the thing, there are, or you wouldn't be. Okay, so what are the benefits of you overconsuming, and what are the benefits of you being or remaining overweight? And there will be some, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it, honestly. So what we have to do here is work. Imagine a pair of kitchen scales, the old brass kitchen scales, and we're talking about the emotional benefits here. So put the emotional benefits of being or remaining overweight on one side of the scales, and put the emotional benefits of being slim and healthy and what you've got to do to achieve that on the other side of the scales. And the key is to make the stack of benefits of being slim and healthy, the stack of emotional benefits, weigh more than not being slim and healthy. And once you've got that, you really want to do it. Now, in my other training courses, we go through this in a lot more detail, but this is just something for you to think about now. Please don't use willpower to achieve anything in your life. There's a far easier, more sustainable, more successful way to do it when you really want to do it. Your want power, what you want the most, has the most power, and then it's easier to achieve. You've really, really got to want to do it, and then it'll be easy. But what you need to do is weigh up the emotional benefits. So have a think about some of the emotional benefits of overeating. I guess you don't have to think about things too much, so it's kind of easy, doesn't take much time, that kind of thing. And what are the benefits, the emotional benefits of getting slim and healthy forever? There's a biggie at the end of the day, we're going to live longer. But sometimes that gets lost in the day-to-day running of our lives. But once you sit down and really think about this, you can start working out the emotional benefits to you of being slim and healthy forever. Then you build up and build up and build up this want power. So, lovely ladies, that's it for me for today. If you've If it's rung any bells with you, if you've liked what you've seen, if it's starting to make sense to you, please do share with your friends. You can let me know what you think by commenting in the box below. And as I say, this is just number one of a 3 video series. So watch out in your inbox in the next couple of days, and I've got something really awesome coming your way. There will be number 2 video arriving in your inbox probably in about 2 days, and I look forward to seeing you then. For now, goodbye.